Well, that was certainly something, wasn't it? That was a whole lot of somethings. But here we are. Victims hate me as much as ever. Rebellion's pretty pissy. Rexford's pretty pissy. Grandma felt better. At least Black Magic in a coma still loves us like he. Legend 80. Fame has gone down. In the name of justice, sure. Lawlessness, great. Offensive, soloist, still pretty even here, and I played it pretty conservatively there, too, at the end, because of how I was warned. Basically, my takeaway from this is that I should have been far more reckless with my powers and shit than what I was. That's what I should have been. Uh, not. I mean, we've certainly been hated less. So, fucking hell if I know. Anywho, Chapter 14, The Hero Projection. The dock rocks underneath, and you look out at the mountains lining the lake. It's almost enough to make you feel alright. Almost. After 2 months, you thought that things would have settled, that this nightmare would reverse itself, and you'd have your life back. And you'd feel some peace, despite everything that happened. But now all you can think is, maybe it will take 3 months. She's here, Grimith, Grandma calls from the shore, a giant tree branch waving at you from above. If there has been one upside to being stuck in this lakeside DRPR safe house, it's seeing Grandma in her natural element. After all, she only ever moved to the big city for you. You stand and turn, stepping off the dock to hover back to shore. You make it several feet, and feel that same surge of emptiness, and find yourself dropping into the water. Slugger, you keep forgetting. Part of you just wants to sink to the bottom of the lake and stay there, to forget about everything and just sleep, to wipe clean the memory of that needle blast ripping into you, taking away everything. But the better part of you knows, nothing lasts forever. So you rise back to the surface, hoping it holds some brighter news. 5 minutes later. I don't have much time, we'll have to get right down to it, Ginny says, as you sit down across the table, still dripping. All you want is for Ginny to make fun of your sopping messiness, or for being stuck in this cottage for so long, but there won't be any of that. And you know you only have yourself to blame. I don't. Whatever, game. Have there been any changes with your powers? Ginny asks, her eyes down at the hollow report she has to fill out. I can only access my normal powers for a few seconds at a time. Then nothing, you say, swearing you feel physical pain as you do. That's an improvement from last month, Ginny notes, and it confirms the research that the Infinity Regulator's power dampening effects are only temporary. Do they know how long it will take to restore my full power, or whether there will be any permanent damage? Only time will tell, Ginny says, already switching gears. I apologize for not being able to debrief you sooner, but we've been busy dealing with the fallout from the finale and wrapping up the investigation. You don't have to apologize, Ginny, it's just really good to see. Let's get to it, then, Ginny interrupts, opening a new hollow file. Slugger. Before you get started with Ginny, you close your eyes and take a deep breath. You've been waiting all these weeks for answers, replaying what happened in your head over and over, even in your sleep. Just when you thought you were over your nightmares, this new horror has brought them right back. The immediate fallout after the finale was intense. It was a national news bomb, with coverage exploding into thousands of rumors about what really happened with you, Ginny, Rexford, and the Hero Project. For days it seemed that no one could pinpoint the truth about anything. And although the dust has settled, opinions on what really went down are still very mixed. As a result, the nation seems to be divided between pro- and anti-powered politics. After what you did at the finale and what was done to you, you were turned into a national symbol, both by your supporters and your opposition. Some see you as an anti-government upstart, while others see you as a hero standing up to obvious corruption. You're mostly viewed as a figure to be feared, a powerful Infiniforce to be reckoned with. Your supporters, you're a symbol for powered rights, however to many others, you're seen as a rebel, a dangerous political threat who isn't in control of his considerable powers. Despite how the Hero Project turned out, it has still transformed you into an icon. You are the representation of everything that some Americans stand for, and for others, everything they oppose. At least I was smart enough not to take pump. After Rexford blasted you with the Infinity Regulator, Ginny got a hold of you. Her own hit, while rather painful, wasn't as debilitating, and you both escaped with the help of the DRPR. Then, after a few days of medical examination, Ginny and the DRPR placed you in this lakeside safe house, until they could figure out everything that had happened with the Hero Project, and decide what your next move should be. And that's where you were able to take some time to piece together the events leading up to the finale, from what Ginny told you. After the infra order was captured and processed, the DRPR got a crack at questioning Scoundrel, the main person of interest in Ginny's investigation. Scoundrel ended up confessing to being placed in the Hero Project as an infra-order mole tasked with transferring messages between Rexford and Kulik as per an agreement to coordinate their missions for maximum media coverage. This information was obtained only hours before the Hero Project finale went live, so the DRPR delayed arresting Rexford to see if he might connect anyone else to the plot before the show ended. Because Ginny was eliminated, DRPR access to the Hero Project compound was limited until Null was cleared to arrive for the finale. Once Rexford learned about Null's secret investigation, he made sure to up security quite a bit. Still, when President Victon rolled out the Infinity Regulator and turned it on you, Ginny made the call to take down Rexford. The DRPR SWAT team was deployed to assist, and the now infamous battle broke out between you and the American Protectorate. And Ginny was able to reveal Rexford's connection to Kulik on air before Rexford took the shot for around the world. So Rebellion was just a patsy in this? You blacked out after that, but Rexford was promptly arrested in a very public fall from grace. The nation believed Ginny's accusations, since she had already been outed as an undercover DRPR agent, by you as she also revealed on air. So Rexford was exposed as the true villain of the Hero Project. You know, taking him down as a major victory, despite whatever else may have happened. Is he? Was that a very public fall from grace? Was it? Sure. However, Ginny has hinted that this is only the tip of the iceberg and that Rexford wasn't acting alone. Apparently there's a much deeper plot here, and you've been waiting to get the full scoop for months, which is why Ginny is here today. You're still trying to sort through your feelings on all this craziness. I wonder just how deep Rexford's connections to the Infra Order might be. I'm dying to hear if there was indeed a meek mole embedded in the Hero Project. You look across the table at Ginny, ready to get some closure and hopefully move on. I finally closed the investigation and put together this report, which I'm going to hand in directly after this meeting, Ginny says. I thought you should know what happened before it gets even more classified, though. Ginny slides a hollow tablet across the table and you stare at it, not sure if you're ready for whatever lies inside. A mix of anticipation and dread swirls through your stomach, making you feel queasy. Let's begin. The third meek signal transmission was coming from Rexford's me chip. He was the mole as one of their secret apostles. His directive was to arrange for the Crush and the Ineffable to have highly visible, uncontrolled Infini incidents fueled by an illegal drug. And all that was done for anti-pass. So, like, Rebellion just ended up being the conduit for it, I guess because Rexford convinced him? Huh. I'm not, like, again, like, I'm not, like... Wow, I can't believe Rexford would do that. Oh my goodness, it's... Really? Like, I almost feel worse about Rebellion. Because now he's just incredibly stupid. Intergalactically, even. Just like this book. Alright, good work, in character me. The Secret Cabal. Bunch of folks did a conspiracy, including Rebellion, and entirely orchestrated the Hero Project to control how the American people felt. I don't, other than Rebellion. Yes. When someone publicly says and keeps publicly saying that they aren't involved in something. How could you even fathom it? Our person in character certainly couldn't. Yeah, I'm not, no. Necessary Infini presence? Yes. That's why the Crush got on there. The ineffable sign handler GG orchestrated a bunch of manipulations to get us there in the finals. At least I know I made it as far as I did because of my own actions. Grimith, I know what you must be thinking about GG. Whatever he did or didn't do to you on the show, I believe he never knew about Rexford's true intentions. You stare at Jenny, hoping she has a good explanation to back that theory up. After the show ended, Gigi came forward as a source. He was the one, the only one, to see Rebellion, President Victon, Constance, Inherit, and Rexford all in a hollow meeting together before the show. Gigi had stumbled in on this meeting accidentally and was too afraid to say anything at the time, but thought it might help my investigation after the show ended the way it did. Grimith. Gigi's testimony was the missing piece that helped me put the rest of this puzzle together. I couldn't name him in this version of the report for his protection, but I thought you deserved to know. You nod, but don't say anything. Just because Gigi did the right thing in the end doesn't prove anything about his original intentions. Guess you'll just have to trust your gut on that one for now. What about the pump? Rebellion was the one to supply both the crush and the ineffable with pump. Origin is unclear. There's some sort of grand scheme. Rebellion claims to have no knowledge of pump's true purpose. Yes, and there was a grand meltdown, and right before the election, when the Ineffable refused Rebellion's pump offer, Rexford and President Victon goaded the Ineffable into a fight by making it appear falsely the Ineffable was about to suffer an infinity breakdown. I'm furious about what was done to me. Can't help but wonder how much worse things could have turned out if you had taken it. Grimith, I've been meaning to ask, why didn't you tell me about Rebellion's pump offer when we met before the 9th place vote? You look up at Jenny, because you've been wondering the same thing. You were actually thinking about telling Jenny today you didn't because... I don't like any of these. I didn't tell her because the fucking game didn't give me the choice to. I was just too exhausted to think clearly. I guess that makes sense, Jenny says after hearing your answer. She obviously wants to reprimand you for keeping this from her, but you both know that won't do any good now. Rebellion still claims to have no knowledge of Pump's true purpose or Rexford's plans as a meek apostle, but obviously I think he's lying about all this. What do you think? I agree, he has to have been part of this. You'll cross paths with Rebellion again someday soon. What about this Kulik connection? Had to orchestrate the right missions. What do you know? That's why Scoundrel was there. So it seems like Rexford, Rebellion, and Scoundrel were all in on this conspiracy. Yes. But Rexford, perhaps, the greatest string puller of them all. Okay. Cool. And then finally, Rexford takes the fall. He's taking full credit for the conspiracy. He was acting independently and without the knowledge of anyone. Everyone is fucking denied thing. All psychic and physical evidence searches have come up empty. He's probably been set up to take the fucking fall. Sweet slugger, you whisper, placing the hollow tablet back on the table. I know, it's quite something. The first thing that pops into your head is that you were right to suspect that Rebellion had something to do with the meat conspiracy, back when you had your last meeting with Jenny during the Hero Project. And although there wasn't anything you could do to prove it then, that's a hunch worthy of a legend for sure. Huh. Okay. Will any of this report become public knowledge? The legal mess and interagency politics are insane on this, plus our hands are fairly tied without any physical evidence. Not to mention that there are lots of high-ranking people who want to minimize the fallout from this disaster, Jenny says with a sigh. I'm going to make it my personal mission to make sure the truth comes out, but that day might not be coming soon. Slugger. For now, the American Protectorate will stay intact under Rebellion's leadership, minus both of us, of course. Unfortunately, those heroes don't see that supporting Rebellion and Victon will probably lead to them to their own persecution at the hands of the meek. Don't see, or don't care, you say, thinking that. I just, like, shrugged at, like, these radio options, like, okay. Inherit has gained quite a bit for this. You never trusted Inherit, and you can only hope you'll be able to tear him down off that pedestal of his someday soon. Well, they'll all be at Victon's inauguration, along with Obak. Have you heard the latest Meek news? Unfortunately, you have. The Meek movement have managed to keep their connections to Rexford and the Hero Project quiet for now, and the Meek unveiled their latest move, creating a sovereign headquarters on a roving cruise ship, which will occupy international waters surrounding the US. It's their first step towards building what they call the one true Meek Nation. They've put out an open call for all Meek followers to come live there. You couldn't imagine a much more horrifying place to be, or a more frightening political shift. It seems a storm is brewing, Jenny starts, one I'm sure you'll find yourself at the eye of, Grimith. You have to know that you won't be safe here forever. Victon the Meek will come for you at some point. You're a loose end they can't afford to leave untied, as the biggest threat to their new regime. Oh, don't worry. I'm counting on it. Knowing what you know now, there may never have been a way to prevent this all from happening. This conspiracy was in motion long before the Hero Project, with way too many powerful people involved. All you can know is that participating in Ginny's investigation allowed you to make the most informed decisions possible, and that maybe if you had allowed Ginny to see it through to the end, even more damage could have been done to your enemies. By taking ourselves out of the Hero Project, yes. Still, at the end of it all, you put Rexford behind bars. You've made it out of the Hero Project alive, you've become an icon. You've begun to expose President Victon and the Meek for who they truly are. No matter what else happened, or what the public does or doesn't know, you and Ginny now know the truth about them. You thought you had some time before the Victons came for you, but obviously you were wrong. They've been plotting your downfall this entire time. President Victon and the Meek clearly won't stop until they destroy you, or you destroy them. So in this moment, you know with complete clarity what the rest of your career will be devoted to. Stopping these corrupt sluggers from stealing the nation you call home. You're going to war. I have to be going, Ginny says, standing up. The mountain of hollow paperwork that goes along with this report isn't going to fill itself out. Oh wait, one more question before you go. Your report never mentioned who sent me those meme messages, or how the DRPR knew to investigate this conspiracy in the first place. That's because we don't know, Ginny answers. We chalked both up to anonymous tips. No one has come forward to claim responsibility for either. Given the deep waters this conspiracy treads, that makes sense. I guess that'll just have to stay a mystery for another day. Ginny turns to go, and you put a hand on her shoulder before we can. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Oh, this fucking inept character. When are you going to stop holding a grudge? When Rexford took that shot, you didn't. You failed me in just about every way. So don't bother, Grimith. Tell Grandma Reaper I said goodbye. And unable to look at you anymore, Ginny just walks out the door. Why would I have fucking stood in... Like... Why would I have? You're an unpowered individual! Later that night, you stare into the campfire flames, thoughts running wild through your head. The information from Ginny's report still clangs around, feeling heavy and hollow at the same time. Right now, the entire Hero Project experience feels more like a dream than reality. Reality. That's a very loaded word, after everything you've been through. The Hero Project may have been built on a lie, but its consequences have become very real. Thinking of this makes you wonder how the other eliminated finalists feel about being a part of the Hero Project, and keeping track of how they fared in the 2 months since the show as best as you can. Black Magic. She still hasn't woken up from her coma. I forgot all about that horrid scandal. She's beloved. You managed to sneak away from the lake house to pay a visit to Black Magic in the hospital, but didn't do much to make you feel better. Just wish there was something you could have done to stop this from happening. I tend to make sure the sluggers who did this to Black Magic pay. What about the crush? Doesn't fit. He deserves his spot in the void because of his past crimes. And I'm finished reflecting. I don't care about anyone else. If the Hero Project did anything, it made you consider what you are willing to sacrifice for success. Time and time again, the show made you decide what was really most important to you. And moving forward, you now know without a doubt what matters most to you. My war against the victims. And knowing this means more than anything right now. Feeling better than you have in months, you decide it's finally time to look at your heroic profile on the Legend Meter website. You're blocked from viewing this page during the Hero Project, and since the show, you haven't quite had the courage to see what has happened to your image. Take a deep breath, you focus on your mead ship. Let's see how my legend is doing, J2, you say. Took you long enough, honey, Meadship J2 hollers, appearing in front of you in executive realness ensemble. Your wish is my command. As Meadship J2 disappears, you're faced with your official Legend Meter heroic profile. The Ineffable. The Ineffable was a finalist on the Hero Project, known best as the show's most ruthless strategist. The Ineffable was one of the Hero Project's 6 winners, who was meant to serve as a founding member of the American Protectorate, until he found himself at odds with the show's agenda, and parted ways with the organization. After his time on the Hero Project, the Ineffable emerged as a hated figure, feared as a symbol for persecuted powers everywhere, exemplified by shows of terrifying power. Reading over this description, you know this was a direct result of your strategy type, in combination with your hated and unleashed stats. Looks like the decisions you made had some very real consequences when it comes to your image. You're a heroic icon now, so these statistics divine the message you want to send to the world. No matter what, you can rest easy knowing that your message is clear. You then scroll down to your general heroic statistics, seeing that you are seen as a fame-seeking, lawless, solo, and offensive hero. Finally, you get to the most important number in your career. 92. Your legend level. You know that your ultimate legend goal is to make it to 100, a feat that has only ever been achieved by one hero, Rebellion. Knowing that the Hero Project could have placed you within a few points of this goal, how do you feel about your final legend level? Fantastic. Closing your hero page and looking back up the fire, you try to make sense of it all. It's a hard realization, knowing that your dream was never going to come true the way you had expected. And again, dreams rarely do. Sitting here today, you're still one of the most famous heroes on the planet. Not just famous, but an emerging icon. By any standard, you're well on your way to becoming a legend. So it may not have happened the way you envisioned. The reality may be far from what you had imagined. But it's an achievement you're still proud of. And again, you found yourself part of another plot you couldn't fully control, but apparently control is something you're going to have to earn. You can't imagine that anyone else at the start of any other career feels any differently, ultimately. At least you can say you're making all these sacrifices doing something you love. Besides, it's how you choose to act under circumstances like these that truly defines you, because you know that moving forward, the choices are only going to get harder and harder, especially since you can't shake the feeling that this is only the beginning. Despite all that's happened, standing at the start of something much bigger yet to come. But this time, you are sure of one thing moving forward. You're finally going to take control. Grimith, Grandma says, walking up behind you, would you mind dimming the fire a bit? Some of the chrysanthemums over there are causing an awful racket about it. Sure thing, Gran. Though not too low, you'll still need some light to read by, Grandma says, tapping you on the shoulder with an envelope. What's this? You ask, taking the blank envelope from Grandma. It looks like some old bat got the devoid to agree to return letter policy. Only get 2 a year, but it's a style. Sure. Stare down the letter in your hands, not sure at all what to do next. Let's have Grandma read it. How else did you think this was going to happen, Grandma says, sitting down beside you. You steady yourself and pull the letter out of the envelope, catching sight of your branded tattoo as you do, reading the words there. My heart will go on. Those words are all you have to remember your parents by some days, but not today. The letter is handwritten, just like yours, but in silver and red ink. You begin at the top, reading the first line. Grimith, we have to start this letter by saying one thing first. We are so proud of you, and we know you did the right thing. And for now, reading those words, you feel fully at peace. Epilogue, your own scare. Your eyelids feel heavy. After reading your letter about 30 times, it might be time to call it a night. Standing up to put out the fire, you let a yawn stretch out. Are we really that tired, chicken? You tense up and look to find a figure standing behind the fire, wearing a Kevlar bodysuit. How did you... You're supposed to... Please, what self-respecting villain doesn't know how to fake their own death 1,000 times over? They never did find my body, did they? What brings you here? I'm here for a little chat. Besides, I voted for you about 500 times on the Hero Project. I'm a bona fide fan. Though really, I thought you'd have been able to do a little more of my support, especially after those handy tips I sent. Wait, you sent me those cryptic meme messages? You and the DRP are both. You see, I was spying on Victim when I came across his little cabal. I had all these grand plans to use you to bring him down, being the proud Infinity advocate I am, and our story really did need a sequel, all the fans thought so. What did you do this time, and why didn't... Hold your wild horses, chicken, Prodigal says, rolling her neck. It was a rather uncomfortable journey getting to this little spot you've got. Anyway, I stopped paying attention to the whole Hero Project Escandalo after I sent that second me message. You see, while watching Victim, I came across a particularly juicy tidbit, one that I had to spend a very long time investigating. As a matter of fact, that's what brings me here tonight. Is this a dream? Is it real? So much for the whole thing about killing Prodigal, right? You can never really kill them for sure, they always come back. Then spit it out, you slugging maniac. Now, that's no way to talk to your future partner now, is it? We're going to do some very big things together, you and I. We're going to war against President Victim. I would never, ever. Such a tiresome thing you are. I think you'll change your mind, because I've confirmed a little nugget that could help tear down Victim's presidency and exonerate your parents in one fell swoop. And why would you have any interest in doing that? Because you're not the only one with a little vengeful family reunion on the line. Prodigal says, suddenly growing dead serious. You remember my mother, Miss Artillery? You know, the one who Victim put your parents in jail for murdering? Not holding your breath. Well, it turns out Mother Darling is rather alive and well, Prodigal says, a smile curling across her lips. And you, the ineffable, are going to help me find her. Badge unlocked. Ruthless Strategist. Your decisions throughout the Hero Project mark you as a truly ruthless strategist. We've got a legend guide. Woohoo! This lists the decisions necessary to achieve a perfect legend score. And we've unlocked the guide. Okay. Where did we fuck up? We ended at a 92. So, national level will readjust things so that we're always properly there along with everyone else at the start. So we got a gilded key, a leaderboard score of 45 or greater, ship warning system, make decisions consistent with strategy types, go to Facebook, boost remaining consistent to them, always remain involved in Ginny's investigation. There's a boost for getting a gilded key, and for having a semifinal score of that high. Make sure to have a leaderboard score of 25 or greater in the tunnel mission. It allows you to survive elimination. Automatic boost for that mission. Keep in the investigation. Automatic loss for your swing vote. Strategy type. The mission. Investigation. Vote consistently as a popular, underdog, or a floater in both votes. Choose not to take pump to avoid a legend decrease. And make sure to survive the 10th place elimination to avoid a legend decrease. When choosing whether to sell Jenny out, remain consistent with your strategy type to avoid a legend decrease. So, selling Jenny out is a ruthless strategist move. There's an automatic loss if you are eliminated in 9th place and took pump, since it affects your image negatively. Make sure to choose Rex for Rebellion or Scoundrel when guessing who the mole is to earn a legend boost. If battling Smither, make sure to keep your power and health levels above 20 to avoid a legend loss. Automatic loss if you stayed in the competition and took pump. Make sure to keep your power and health levels high enough to survive and avoid a legend decrease. Boost if you stayed involved in the investigation. Boost if you correctly guessed that Rexford Rebellion or Scoundrel was connected to the anti-Infinity Conspiracy. Boost if you completed the Hero Project with a hated or unleashed level above 75 or a loved or control level before 25. That's where we went wrong. In Heroes Rise, you're rewarded for sticking to your ideas. That's where we went wrong. Hated or unleashed level above 75, or a loved or control level below 25. We ended up really damn split on unleash and control after everything. Because I was so conservative with, like, my power. Because I was expecting more shit to come that did not come. And I could have gone crazier with my shit. And, you know, went ballistic. And I never ended up going ballistic. And I'm not that damn hated. You know, thinking back on times I won being loved, I fucking, like, winked at the camera at one point and that gave me some love. I don't remember. Okay. So we were missing 5 legend points. We could have had 97 out of 100 instead of 92. That was my only mistake. That damn consistency there. But wait. Grimith now narrows his eyes. We get +5 legend for aided or unleashed levels above 75 or love control level below 25. So we have to be hated, or we have to have gone ballistic with our infinity powers. We could be loved while going ballistic, or hated while maintaining control. Alright. And I split the baby on Unleash and Control, and did not end up that extremely hated to get +5 legend. Alright. That's the end of this. No. Yeah, so that's that. I'm not playing Hero Fall. I had a half hour to mop up from like Bit's request of me embarking on this trilogy after I did like the first game. This one, fewer chapters, reality show theme. Just didn't feel really good. Like, perhaps part of that was, you know, the whole fame monster thing, nuking the reputation, the relationships, right? But I don't know. Just really doesn't resonate with me. Which is why I persevered to finish this now in one setting. I no longer have the berserk, like, on-tilt frenzy of energy that I did earlier. I'm tired. I don't think I care to go through any of this other stuff. I don't think I'll care to play this game again. I don't think I'll care to play the third one. But who knows? 2023 or whatever. Fucking it goes. I'm good, though. So yeah, reality TV for heroes. I think the first one was better, but also, like, it's been a number of years since I did the first one, and I certainly had my problems with that too. At least I was a perfect legend after the first one. Damn it. My problem was that I didn't become hated enough for fucking go crazy berserk with my powers. I was too busy trying not to die. Ah, whatever. I'll settle for being 5 points beneath the maximum. I'll settle for that, I guess. Ah, whatever. My primary problem with this is that this, like, the third story is all about, like, now's the time when you regain control. This second one is all about fucking you not being in control at all and just being jerked around the entire time. Yeah. I'm in my wind down phase, wondering whether I have anything else to say about it, and I think that's about it. Don't think it was awful. Wasn't a waste of my time. I don't feel motivated to do it again. And make myself either hated or unleashed enough to get my perfect score. I, would have enjoyed seeing more combat in there. Because this story did not do political intrigue and machinations very well. It, the character is very out of his depth in that. And, The story tries to make you have feelings and care about people more than I felt motivated to do. Also, the whole fucking picture of... That reminds me, the whole... It doesn't bring up the Geraldine and Gerard thing. Like, the whole, like, portrait painting in, like, chapter... No, it doesn't bring that up at all. So that didn't increase my legend at all. But it wouldn't have decreased my legend either. Huh. I don't know. Okay. Sure. Whatever. Fuck it. I'm done. Take care, everyone. I've enjoyed it. We're out. Grimith out.